Boo, boo, boo.
Alright, how's it going, guys? So welcome to Blake's Garage. We are going to install today a T25 T28 Lava turbo blanket onto the turbo of this 2014 Subaru WRX. So let me just go over this turbo blanket real quick. So basically a little stainless steel mesh area around the sides here. Then on the inside, this is a calcium magnesium silicate wool. I know that sounds pretty fancy. It is pretty fancy. Keep stuff cool, basically. Then it has a layer of tight lava weave. This is formed from a volcanic rock. It's pulverized and crushed down, and it makes this nice kind of carbon fiber looking weave to it. And then also it has these nice stainless steel rivets. All right, guys, so what you're gonna do first is it comes with a little bit of wire here. You're just gonna kind of make a little fisheye and just wrap it around. Then you're gonna wanna take your pliers and tighten it up really tight so that it doesn't wobble around at all. Because what this is gonna do when it goes under is it's just gonna tie back and forth, and you're gonna weave this back and forth underneath the turbo. If your heat shield is not already off your car, go ahead and take that off. It should be 10mm bolts right around the turbo. That's gonna be right over there. Okay, that's where we're gonna be working. All right, guys, so I've wrapped that around right here. So I went ahead and I just put a glove on. This is like a TIG welding glove, and then I know it's kind of weird looking, but I put another glove on top of this because this glove is fairly dirty. They say that if you get like oils on this part right here, that'll stain the wrap. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just try to wrap this around the turbo. So I wove this wire underneath the turbo here, and now I'm just gonna kind of try to wrap it around as good as I can. You should be able to tug with the wire a little bit too. Also, where you see this, right, so you'll see the logo on here. This is gonna be facing towards the front of the car. So if you read from standing at the front of the engine bay, you'll actually read this logo right side up. This part cut out in the turbo blanket goes right next to the wastegate actuator, which is right here. That's this little lever coming off this vacuum manifold, or diaphragm, sorry, not manifold, but which pulls the wastegate open on the back side of the turbo. That is gonna go right there. So we have to just kind of wrap this blanket around that, making sure that it's not interfering at all. Just kind of take it under here, get it looking good, as good as we can at least. So you're gonna wanna take that other side of the wire, get this blanket on there tightly, as tight as you can, and then wrap that around that other rivet. So I'm just taking my finger, just kind of doing a quick little wrap around, seeing if I can't tighten it up when I yank on it a little bit here. So I'll give it 1 or 2 wraps around it and then feed it back over to the other side of the turbo blanket. Sucks. All right, guys, so first I wrapped around this first rivet right here. You guys can kind of see that right where my finger is. Okay, then I ran the wire underneath the downpipe. So you'll know where it is when you're wrapping it on here. And then you should be able to snug it down fairly tightly, and then just give it a few wraps around that rivet. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it around one more time, then I'm gonna come around and we'll finish it off on this rivet right here. So make sure you like the way your blanket looks on here. Make sure it looks good, that's always important. Grab snugly, push down on the blanket, and wrap it around that last part. Most pairs of pliers are just gonna have a little cutter on here, which should work fine. So I just cut that off, and we'll just finish it off by just wrapping it a few more times. Maybe try to keep it to where it's not gonna cut you next time you play with this thing. All right, guys, so you can just kind of see it on there. Looks pretty good. The logo is kind of off to the side, just a little bit, but overall, I think it looks pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and try this out, and we'll get a couple readings on under the hood temperatures, kind of see how that goes, and give it a quick review of what we think.